Hey everybody, and welcome back to the channel, and welcome back to another start of a week. It's Monday yet again. It seems to come around so quick as well these last few weeks. Of course, very much event-filled month in July after the Go Fest right at the start of the month, the end of June, start of July. We had also the 9th anniversary event, and the weeks are just flying by now. We've just finished the Ultra Unlock Hisuian celebration event, and now we've got this Max Monday, and this Monday in fact is one of the only days where we haven't got another event going on in July, and it's nice to have a little bit of a break. Of course, the Water Festival starts tomorrow, but today it is all going to be about Dynamax Wailmer. Dynamax Wailmer is the brand new Dynamax released in the game. It's the first time it's been about, so we're going to see how many we can do, how easy it is to solo, and also if we can get a decent one, or in fact that shiny one. That would be really, really cool. Hey Jonathan, thanks very much for joining. So we're just going to head over to what I believe is an early one. So this one across here is currently a Wailmer, and it will respawn as a Wailmer again at 6 PM. So we might as well jump in and do an early one. And from my estimation, we could probably do around about 5 today, because Wailmer, unfortunately, is classed as a level 2 Dynamax, which is a little bit annoying. But that also means it costs 400 max particles instead of the normal 250 max particles that a level 1 costs. So it does mean we can only do a few compared to quite a few more if it was only 250, but we should have around about 5 battles in us today, so we'll see how those go on. And then after those battles, we will do our daily adventure incense and see if we can get any Galarian Bird spawns. That would be pretty cool if we can. We did manage to get a Galarian Bird yesterday. Unfortunately, no shiny. But can today be any different? We'll find out in just a moment. Hey Sirek, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. Make sure to get involved in the comments today. If you are new to the channel, make sure to get involved. I don't bite. I'm more than happy to answer any questions you've got, so make sure to get involved. How was your Hisuian Unlock event? So it's actually a good thing you've asked me that, because I am going to do a results video later on today talking about what we actually managed to get during that Hisuian Unlock event, and also the amount of XP. Of course, one of the big things of that event, especially for me and for anyone else hunting XP or Stardust, was that we had 4 times XP and 4 times catch Stardust. That was just a crazy, crazy amount. And with that, it meant that we could really hammer the XP with those excellent throw catches. So we are going to do a review video later on, which I'll post tonight on my YouTube, and we'll look into a bit like that. But me personally, I really, really liked it. I really liked the Ultra Unlock event. It was only missing a new shiny release potentially, but of course we had the new release of Hisuian Zorua. That was very, very cool. And then from that, after that, of course, we had the 4 times catch XP, 4 times catch Stardust. So a lot going on during that event. So we'll jump into this Wailmer and do this one as an early one. And then once we've completed this one, we should be able to go back into it again when it turns 6 PM. It's just struggling to load that up there. Let's try again. There we go. So we'll jump in. Now it is recommending Rillaboom, Gmax Rillaboom, Gmax Toxicity, and Gengar. Another good one for this will be Venusaur, Gmax Venusaur, or Dynamax Venusaur if you've got one of those. If you haven't yet got a Gmax, those will also be very, very good choices. How did you get level 50 so fast? I have 35 level, I really want 70. And so level 50 is just literally, to get to level 50 really fast is just literally catching everything, making the most of those events where you've got increased catch XP, and just taking your time when you're catching and trying to do excellent throws on everything that you catch. Now, you're not, of course, going to do excellent throws on every single thing, but taking your time and just trying to do as many excellent throws as you can, and you'll see a huge, huge difference in your XP. Because an excellent throw, even not when you're in an event, is around about 1000 XP plus a few extra bonuses, so just over 1000 XP per excellent throw, whereas a nice throw could probably get you around about 260 XP, so 4 times the amount from doing an excellent throw than a nice. And it does all stack up. You can do 10 excellent throws and get 10,000 XP, or you can do 10 nice throws and only get 2,500 XP. It's a big difference when you start scaling it up in terms of the amount of catches. So definitely take your time, try and do excellent throws, and the more you do of them, the better you'll get at them. So you can hopefully work your way up through the levels quite easily by doing excellent throws. Me personally, I do raid quite a bit, but like now, for instance, I haven't actually done a raid since last Wednesday when we did Sol Gleo, so on the raid hour. So I don't really do that many raids. So I only really revolve around catching. So that is the biggest tip really. And obviously quick catching. If you don't know how to quick catch, then try and learn how to quick catch as well. 779 on Wailmer. Let's see if this is any good. Can you do a raid invite? Unfortunately, I can't join a raid invite. I could potentially invite you if you want, but I haven't got any remote raid passes, unfortunately. That is the lowest. So we start with the lowest CP going, 779 on the CP. So we can only get better. We can only get better. That is the way we started tonight. We can only get better. Let's jump in on this one, but before we do, let's just see if we can claim those particles and claim 40 more, which we'll claim like 300 should I say, and there we got 1,600, so enough to do 4 more Dynamax Wailmers. So let's jump straight back in, and as you can see there, Rillaboom, we're going to use a potion on him, but it didn't take much of Rillaboom's health at all. So definitely the best tactic with these is just spamming. Rev has joined. Thanks so much for joining, Rev. But yeah, definitely the best tactic on these is just literally just spamming the charge move with Rillaboom. If you have got a Rillaboom, that is. Of course, if you haven't, then I do reiterate, you can use Venusaur, D-Max, or also Toxtricity. Anything electrical grass is going to be very good against Wailmer. And you shouldn't really be in any trouble with any of those Pokemon, as long as they're powered up a little bit. So let's see how this second Wailmer pans out. So both me and Rev using the Rillaboom, the G-Max Rillaboom. Can you make a trade with me, please? Says Caleb. So unfortunately, Caleb, I can't trade unless you're quite close to me. The trading requirements mean that you've got to be within 100 meters of each other to trade. And of course, unless you do live surprisingly very local to me, then that wouldn't be possible. I'm hoping that when we get the channel bigger, then potentially we could do meetups and do trades and different things like that. But yeah, for the time being, unfortunately, it isn't possible to do any trades at the moment. Maybe in the future, I think it has been found in the code that remote trading may be possible in the future. But again, that might be just something that's a limited thing. So it might just be something that you can only do so many times a year, let's say, or in certain events. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see when we do release that. Do you have a Gigantamax Gengar? Yes, I have loads of Gigantamax Gengars. Gigantamax Gengar is my favourite Pokemon, or Gengar, should I say, is my favourite Pokemon. And the Gigantamax is just so cool, because not only is it really cool as a Gigantamax, but you can also use it as a Mega as well. So it does become like double functional, basically. You can use it in raids as a Mega, as either a Poison or a Ghost type, and you can use it in Gigantamaxes and Dynamaxes with its Gigantamax form. So it does become very good. 810 CP, we have a 2-star again. So not a great start to this Max Monday, but we can only get better, surely. We can only get better. So yeah, in terms of Gigantamax Gengar, I will just show you those now. And we have had quite a few of them. We've got 23 left in the storage. We did do a few more than that, but I've traded some away by now. And this one here is a 98 shiny. And I was very tempted to use a gold bottle cap on a Gigantamax Gengar, but when I got this from a lucky trade, potentially just use a silver one on this and get that to a Shundo by using a silver bottle cap whenever we do release silver bottle caps, that is. Silver bottle caps will work very much similar to gold bottle caps, but instead of increasing all 3 stats, you could only increase 1. That's how we work in other games, in the Nintendo Switch games. So stuff like 98s or stuff where you've only got 1 stat, that is a lower number. So you've got a 15, 10, 15, let's say. That will be a perfect use for a silver bottle cap. So keep an eye on those sort of Pokemon in your storage. And when that silver comes out, you can definitely use it on the likes of them. Trainer Joy is in the chat. Kiki is in the chat. Thanks very much for both joining. Hopefully you're both having a good day. And talking of Gigantamax Gengar, it has been recommended first time around this time. So let's see how good it is for these. Can I trade Gigantamax Gengar for one of my Zermazentas? Again, unfortunately, I won't be able to trade unless you're really, really close. Why are you on a live stream? Because it's Dynamax. It's Max Monday. I always go live on Max Monday. Max Monday featuring Dynamax Wailmer for brand new Dynamax Pokemon. That is why we're live today. And of course, we'll do our Daily Adventure Incense as well today. And then tomorrow we have the start of a water festival event. And then we also have Feebas Spotlight Hour, which Feebas, for those that don't know, is a perma boosted shiny. It's 1 in 64 odds for the shiny Feebas. So hopefully tomorrow's Spotlight Hour will be very much shiny filled. I'm hoping that's the case anyway, but make sure to tune into that. When is the day of your stream of trades? Stream of trades? What do you mean by that, Caleb? Sorry. So the third Dynamax Wailmer done. Rev didn't join in on that one. But 6,000 XP again and 812. So slightly better. We got 810 last time. Of course, the time before that we got the floor. So 812 is probably going to be a 2-star still, unless the stats are a little bit in the favour where it could be a 3-star. But let's have a quick look at this one. Shundo Scraggy today. That is absolutely awesome. That is such a cool Shundo. I do love Scraggy. I very much like it shiny as well, because it's shiny is such a cool colour, especially when you evolve it into Scrafty. It goes to that lovely green colour, if I remember right. So it all depends on so I won't be able to trade unless Pokemon Go do enable some sort of remote trading. Potentially, if that does arrive at some stage, then we can sort out a trade. But for the time being, that isn't the case. I'm not sure when it's going to be added to the game, if it's going to be added to the game. Quite a lot of the things, you said you're unable for trades. Yeah, so nobody can trade from globally, basically. You have to be within 100 meters of somebody, so you have to be really close to somebody to trade. That is just how trades work. So unfortunately, you won't be able to trade unless you were right next to me. And of course, that's not going to be the case. But potentially, it may work out that we end up getting remote trades, a bit like the remote raids. But if that's going to become a thing, I don't know. People say we found different things around remote trading in the code, so you could expect it to be released in a future update. But again, there's been several things that have been found in the code which have never actually come out into the game. So we do just mess about with these things, and some of them appear in the game, some of them don't. So we'll wait and see on that. But for now, unfortunately, the requirements are that you have to be close to the person that you're trading with, and you can't just jump on trade anywhere in the world and trade with anybody else. So we'll delete some of these tasks and see what else we get. Hey, thanks very much for joining. So I think we have got a couple of Dynamaxes down here, a couple more Dynamax Wailmers, or we can do our Daily Adventure Incense and leave the last two remaining Wailmers that we can do till after we've done our Daily Incense. What are people's thoughts about that? Shall we do Daily Incense now and see if we can get a Galarian Bird? We'll do it after these Wailmers. Spend some of these Pokestops as well while we're here. Just recuperate on a few Pokeballs. Dynamax and Incense. Right, okay, that's sound. That is the order in which we'll do it. So we can do two more Dynamax Wailmers, I think. 830, yeah, 400 each. So we can just about do two more, which there should be two more down here. We can see there. There is two Dynamax Wailmers. So we can do those and then we can head over to our Daily Adventure Incense and go for a little wander around and see if we can get any Galarian Bird spawns. And then of course, like I say, later on I'll post a video later on about how I managed to get on with the, quite frankly, very, very good event, which has just finished yesterday, the Hisuian Celebrations event. We'll do a review video of that event later on. And of course, the main thing was a 4x catch XP. Please show all your Pokemon. Please show all your Pokemon. I will do if you stop spamming the chat. I would do. I'm not going to show them all, of course, but I'll show you like the top 10 or whatever. So top 10 Pokemon are there on the screen, or top 12 should you say? Top 12 are there on the screen. Zacian, Kyurem, so 98 Zacian, shiny with a background. Hundo Kyurem white. Regigigas 98. Zaramazenta shiny 98. Mewtwo 96 shiny, double moved. 89 shiny Mewtwo. Hundo Kyogre, 98 shiny Kyogre, and Palkia with an LA background also up there. So those are the top 9 ones. So let's clear out some storage. Now we can jump straight into this Wailmer. So again, using Gigantamax Gengar, we're only going to receive our first Pokemon here. I think I used to go through a stage of parrying quite a lot of things up to level 50, just for the sakes of it, if I liked it. But now I'm more to a case of I will only parry it up to level 50 when I need it. So if I need it for a raid, if it becomes like a really good attacker, then I'll power it up. And just using that tactic of only powering up things when you need them it is a massive cost saving in Stardust by doing it like that. I mean, at the start of this year, I probably had around about 2 million Stardust. We're now starting around about 27 million, so it's definitely paid off. There it is, look at that, shiny Gigantamax Gengar. It's just so cool. It is so cool as a shiny, both as Mega and the Gigantamax. It's just a shame that normal Gengar lets it down a little bit. You can barely tell the difference. Hey YT Slams, how are you? Wailmer, yes it is, Dynamax Wailmer, released today. $8.11, so we've had $8.10, we've had $8.12, now we've had $8.11. It's a shame these aren't better stats than they actually are, because I think most of these are actually 2 stars. And again, 3-star this time, 12, 14, 11. We're getting better, we're getting better. Right, let's spin some of these stops. And then we can, what's it? I spent years getting that shiny. Yeah. Wailmer is sometimes one of those which can be a real pain to get shiny, or you get it pretty much straight away. It just seems to be one of those. Either people are sick of seeing it or they want to see it. One big mistake is to make Wailord your buddy. That is a huge mistake. I did it once and it was, yeah, it's just too big. It just completely overpowers your map. It's just ridiculous. I actually best buddied a Wailmer, a Wailord, should I say. But for a majority of that, I never actually brought it out. I only took a snapshot of it and played with it and never actually fed it any berries just so it wouldn't appear on a map. That's the way around it I got. Yeah, best buddied a Wailord. Just kept it as my buddy, walking with it, but not on the map. And then just did the odd raid with it when it was my buddy and stuff. Yeah, it was not a good choice. But annoyingly, I have this thing about if I make something my buddy, I have to best buddy it. So yeah, I only ever make things my buddy that I want to best buddy. So when you get these tasks, that's like 2 candies walking with a poison type, like the Volcarona one, for instance. Volcarona one's the perfect thing. How long have you been playing? So I actually downloaded the game the second day it came out, so the 9th of July. So we've just gone past that actually. The 9th of July I downloaded the game, and then in 2016, and then I stopped playing after about 2 months because there was literally no Pokestops around me. There was one right at the bottom end of the village. By the time I walked there, spun it and got 3 Pokeballs, I'd already used them by the time I'd moved away. So it was just not very fun. There wasn't many things to do either. Gyms were just very, very poorly designed. So yeah, there wasn't many things to do. It was only when my son started getting into the TV series, when he started growing up, but I re-downloaded it in 2018 and started playing it, walking around with him. And then that's it then. Since 2018, I've just been hooked. They improved it a lot from 2016 to 2018. Massive improvement. So, 2-star Wailmer, 10, 10, 13. Yeah, 10, 10, 13. That is pretty terrible. So from the 5 Wailmers we've done, we've used all of our free particles today. And from the 5 Wailmers we've done, we've ended up with absolute rubbish. I can't believe our luck with these tonight. So we started off with 7, 7, 9, which some of you may be saying, wow, that's a low CP. Yes, it's a flaw. 10, 10, 10 on that one. Then 8, 10, 2-star again. 8, 12, 3-star, best one of the night. 13, 12, 15. 8, 11, almost a 2-star. 12, 14, 11, and finished on a 10, 10, 13. So not the best night in terms of Dynamax. No shinies, no standout decent ones. That's probably the best one, but surely that's easily beatable. So let me know how you managed to get on in the comments if you've already done a couple of Dynamax Wailmers. Hopefully you've got a better one than I have tonight, because those are shocking. But of course, it's Wailmer. When are we ever going to use Dynamax Wailmer? You know, that is not going to be, it's not going to be a case of us wanting a good one. Wailmer needs a G-Max. I mean, could you imagine? What are we going to do with it? Would we make it even bigger? That would be crazy. There we go. Excellent front angler. So we will start our Daily Adventure Incense in just a moment. And then we will see if there's any Galarian Birds that appear. So we'll actually start that now. We're already catching things, we're already walking. So let's start that Daily Adventure Incense now and see what we get off it for the next half an hour. Our first spawn is disappointing. It's 33 CP Shelmet. But most of the things around here we can quite easily excellent throw if he didn't hit the ball back. There we go. Second time, excellent throw. Dynamax Wailmer. Yeah, it's going to be massive, that, isn't it? I'm tempted, actually. I am actually going to do it. So let's find that best one that we had tonight. 812. That's the one. Let's evolve it. That gets the evolve a Pokemon test done. I mean, it's 400 candies. We had 1200. So I don't mind evolving one. And then let's see how good it is. Hey Raj, how are you? So it does get a little bit bigger, but it's such a big Pokemon. Look at that. Can you imagine that on top of a gym? Or in a Dynamax battle? It'll just take over the battlefield, won't it? It's just insane. Surely we could eat the battlefield. You could fit the whole battlefield in the Dynamax world inside its mouth. That is ridiculous. Trainer code, I'll put it up on the screen if anybody wants to add me in just a second. Let's just... It's like the battlefield. Yeah, it's like one of those battleships, isn't it? It's like one of those air balloons. You know, it's crazy. Dark Row lovers in the chat, thanks so much for joining. How are you, mate? Oh, Lectabuzz does not want to save a ball. Maybe with a golden Raz it will. A blimp, that's a one, that's a word. See? My very accurate description, and you got it straight away. Teamwork, that is what that is. Teamwork. So, trainer code. Let me just see what appears on the daily first. Swablu. Swablu's off the daily. That's fine. So, trainer code for anybody who wishes to add me. Please make sure to comment down below telling me that you've added me. So there it is. Trainer code, make sure to take a screenshot of it, write it down, or just pause the video. You can always fast forward back to the live part once you've added me. So 760780708259. Make sure to add me. Let me know in the comments that you've added me, and then I know who exactly I'm accepting. So of course, I think a lot of people now have been told about these terms of service updates, and a lot of the noise is obviously around the GPS drift, and we did talk a lot about it yesterday in the live chat, so I won't be talking about it in depth, but there has been some more developments on that today with things that I've seen online. A lot of people have been getting banned, and then, or have already had a ban from a couple of weeks ago. Then they've been unbanned today, then they got banned again, and then they got unbanned again, and then they've got banned again. So for anybody who perhaps got caught spoofing or anything like that previously in the past and had their account banned, they've had a bit of a torrid time today. They've been, for some reason, I don't know what they're doing, whether they're rewriting some sort of banning code or what, I don't know. But for some reason, it seems to be banning and unbanning people all day. And a lot of people who haven't actually done anything wrong by all accounts, from what they're saying online at least, they've also been getting banned. So just be very careful with the gameplay that you do in your own time or whatever. Just make sure to be very careful. Try to avoid doing the GPS drift trick, which is where you use a orange or green raid pass in a gym which normally would require a remote raid pass. Make sure to don't do that anymore. We are definitely looking into that a lot more, so please don't do that. I don't want anybody here to get banned from the game. That is going to be horrible to find out if anybody has. So try just not to do anything against terms of service. They are definitely looking into it, and I can only suspect that there's going to be a huge ban wave, and people who have been doing perhaps even the smallest of things that we shouldn't have will end up getting banned. So just be careful with what you are doing on your account. I think Scopely are definitely tightening down the handcuffs a little bit on stuff like that. So we're getting nothing really good on this daily. Let's just see if I can get the comment phone back on. I can just catch up on a couple of comments. Annoying about this temperature at the moment is that the comment phone just keeps going off. So if you haven't replied back to your comments, just bear with me a second while I get that phone back up and running. It's just that the hotspot keeps going off because the phone keeps on saying it's got too warm. It's always fun. Right, so let's get up to date with these comments. I haven't logged on the game for a bit, and I logged on, then right next to me I saw a Dynamax Wailmer. What have I missed? Yeah, so Dynamax Wailmer is a new Dynamax that's been released today. It's a brand new Dynamax, and of course there's about 200 and something Dynamaxes, so we will be getting a lot of them released in the game. I don't think they're going to be slow in releasing the Dynamax. Potentially with the Gigantamaxes, we'll get, like we have done this weekend, we'll get quite a few repeats. We've had quite a few Gigantamaxes released now, probably around about 10. There's only around about 27 Gigantamaxes in total, so I think the release of those will start to slow down, and instead they'll just start repeating the same 10 like we do with Megas. Of course, Mega Blastoise is on raids again now, already been released for many years, so I think they'll start repeating quite a few of the Gigantamaxes and slowly release out the other ones for big events and stuff like that. So I would definitely expect that. But yeah, in terms of Dynamaxes, there's over 200 odd, so I think we will regularly see new ones appearing, just mixed in probably once a month or something like that. You should have like donations to get the trainer code. Yeah, so unfortunately at the moment the channel isn't big enough to get donations in, so I haven't got to the next stage as a live streamer to be able to do that yet. Hopefully that will be a good step to be able to get to, and like I've said previously, it will be so cool to be able to get this community big enough that we can start doing giveaways and, you know, giving away tickets for events and stuff like that. So yeah, that will be a dream obviously people who donate could then potentially get money back in the terms of tickets and stuff like that. So that would be a really, really cool way to do it, is to give back to you as a community, and obviously for watching and stuff like that. So that would be really cool. But for now, I'm quite happy to just share my trainer code about at this moment in time. Of course, until I am full, all I ask for is that you do try and interact most days. I know not everybody can interact daily. I mean, even I can't interact daily because of having so many friends on the game. And for some reason, there's still like a 20 gift limit. So you can only actually open 20 gifts a day, and you can only send so many gifts a day, and that just makes it impossible to be able to interact with everyone every single day. But at least try and keep up with some sort of interaction. That's all I ask for people who add me, just so we can start working through those levels. Helps us both out in terms of XP by doing that. One of my community ambassadors got banned for gym glitching. So obviously, I'm guessing you're referring to the GPS drift glitch, which is now known as, being able to jump into a raid near you using a green or orange pass. And I'll gift you every day, or I'll try. Okay, yeah, that's brilliant. Yeah, if you can, that would be brilliant. I'll definitely try and open as many gifts as I can from people who have subscribed. That will be fantastic. But yeah, so I'm guessing you're referring to the use of orange and green passes when really you should be using a remote. I think the trick that people do is turning off a location, is that right? Or something like that. Or if you're on an iPhone, you minimize the app and then spam it or something like that. And eventually you'll chuck in one of the other passes, which obviously is cheaper than remote raid passes. And that definitely seems to be a thing, because me, myself, I'm a community ambassador as well. So it got relayed to us community ambassadors first, all these terms of service updates or developments that we released this last week. And obviously I know it's rightfully so, it made its way into a public domain on Twitter and stuff. Of course, us as community ambassadors, we got told to relay the information in our own words to our communities. And of course, one of the big things was that GPS drift. And I think it's no surprise that Scopely obviously took over from Niantic fully after GoFest. The documents all got signed after the GoFest Global, and Scopely fully took over. And since then, we have seen this terms of service update, and we started seeing quite a few people getting banned. So we are starting to crack down on people getting away with things that we perhaps shouldn't. Another thing that we did state on the terms of service update was the cheap poker coins. I don't know how many people do it. I don't know how people do actually do it, but somehow there's people who get cheap poker coins. And when it was explained to us as ambassadors, they change their in-game currency to appear in another country or something like that. So potentially like using a VPN or GPS cheating software or whatever you use. Don't know how you go about doing it, but effectively that also means that you get it in a different country's currency, which may be cheaper to the one you're in. I think I'm right in saying that. So yeah, that's also going to be classed, well, is classed as spoofing, and anybody who's doing that, they have noted it, and it will be a bannable offence if you do that. So yeah, just be very, very careful with how you play the game in the next couple of weeks. Like I say, I think Scopely, after taking over, are going to be really cutting down on people who are not adhering to the terms of service. I know the ban waves were sort of every 3 or 4 months potentially from Niantic previously, but with Scopely we could see that a lot more often. So just be very, very careful with what you are doing when you're playing the game. And of course, try and stick to the terms of service. Can you open my gift? Win it? Yeah, I will try to open that now, Jonathan. Friends list is having a bit of a issue loading up. So we've got Milo. Is that Milo? And then we've got Win it. There we go. We're not far away from Ultra Friends now, in fact, Jonathan. We're doing okay there. All the way from Romania. Again, glitching out. Not really wanting to open. By the way, Milo, brilliant. Thanks very much. I've added you. There we go. So it's just about to start raining here. Something that it hasn't done in the UK for around about 2 or 3 weeks now. We've been in a very much sort of a heat wave for us here in the UK. And that means the phone screen is getting a little bit wet, which means doing any sort of decent throws is going to become a little bit more harder as we try several times to do a decent throw on this one up. Gasly. Yeah, for some reason my friends list is slow as well, and I don't know why. It's obviously something at the moment, I don't know. It's going to start absolutely chucking it down here, and I've only got a t-shirt on. I am prepared for the outdoor weather here in the UK by only wearing a t-shirt. I think I might have messed up there. Even when it's sunny in the UK, like it was when I left, always expect rain. We have the most changing weather in the UK, I'm sure. One minute it's lovely and sunny, the next minute it's absolutely peeing it down. And we're getting very wet already. So let's just stand here for a second. And we are out of the rain for just a moment. Let's see if it eases down or whether it just keeps on coming. Don't want to stand too much because we have got our Daily Adventure Incense on. And we don't want to be missing out on many daily adventure spawns. You never know, it could be a Galarian Bird. I know why it's raining. Because it's thundering. There was a rumble in the sky then. And that's thunder on its way. Or here. So I'm going to carry on walking because I don't think this is going to get any better. So we may just carry on walking and just see how we get on. I suspect in the next 10 minutes or so, this live stream may become a wet t-shirt contest, of which you weren't wanting to be involved in. We'll see how we get on. Let's just keep on going. How many excellent throws can we get in the pouring rain? It stopped again now. This is weird. I never understand the British weather. I've lived here all my life and I've never understood it. It's just so unpredictable. You can add something to this gym. Let's go for, no surprise, shiny and unknown. What letter? What letter shall we go for? We shall go for G. We haven't used G for a while. I do quite like putting shiny unknowns on gyms, I must admit. Sometimes if you're strategic enough, then you can actually make a word with some of your unknowns. So here we've got VIORLLMHG. It's like playing Countdown. It hasn't been raining here in British Columbia, and we got a lot of rain. Yeah, we know it's bad when that happens. Places that normally get a lot of rain and it hasn't been raining. Yeah, I don't want to say it, but most people go on about this global warming. I'm starting to believe them. It's getting worse. It's getting worse. The summer's getting longer, the summer's getting drier. It's not good all round, to be fair. Do you want to be invited to remote raids or not? Because I remote raid and invite to remote raid a lot. So I don't mind inviting to remote raids. So raids that are near me that I can do in person and inviting others. But in terms of being invited, I haven't got many poker coins. I've only got around about 1,000 poker coins. So of course that's around about, what, 5 remote raid passes. So yeah, I want to try and save my poker coins up and potentially buy a box with a decent amount of premium raid passes. Because with me being a community ambassador, I obviously have to go to host the raid events. So like raid hours, raid days, stuff like that. So I definitely need more of the in-person passes more than remote. So I'm more than happy to invite people to raids. If there is anything that you want to be invited to while we're walking around, by all means, I am open to it. Pretty much raid anything with my free raid pass. I'm not bothered. Only get picky when I start spending the green passes, of which I think I've still got my free raid pass from yesterday, so I've still got 2 free raid passes today. Still no decent spawns on this Daily Adventure Incense. It's really let me down today. And of course, these excellent throws aren't amounting to much compared to yesterday's event. I do miss doing excellent throws and getting 9,500 XP. I miss it already. How many subs do you need for members? So the members goes off watch time hours. So I could actually get to do members now if we had enough watch time hours. So it all goes down to how many people watch my videos and how long they watch the videos for. The actual total amount of time that people watch every video all gets added up, and that becomes your watch time hours. You need 3,000 watch time hours for 1 year. I'm on around about 2,000 now. So the more people that tune into live streams and stay with us longer, the better. The more people who watch our YouTube videos that I put up and watch them all the way, full length, even if it's just in the background while you're doing something else and you're just listening to me chat away, a bit like a radio, then that also helps massively. So yeah, anything like that you can do, that'll be much appreciated. We can get those watch time hours up and we can start doing memberships and stuff. That'll be such a cool step to be able to get to. But in fairness, I wasn't expecting to have so many subscribers now. To be honest, I'd never predicted as many subscribers as what we have now. So I can only thank every single person who subscribed. And if you haven't, make sure to do so. Turn that notification bell on as well, and you won't miss when we go live, of which we are regularly live every Max Monday, every Spotlight Hour. And then we try and go live at a weekend as well, Friday, Saturday or Sunday, depending on what events are happening. Like I say, with me hosting the events in my local community, so I have to plan my live streams around that. So Friday, Saturday or Sunday, we will try and go live on one of those days for a bit of a live stream. Yesterday we went live on Sunday, and today we're live. Tomorrow we'll be live for Spotlight Hour, Feebas Spotlight Hour. So hopefully a big shiny haul there, with it being permanently boosted to 1 in 64. Hopefully we'll land a few of those tomorrow with the increased spawns. But yeah, make sure to tune into all the live videos that you can. I know everybody can't tune into every single one, but try and tune in as much as you can and get involved in the comments. I always love interacting with you all in the comments. So we've got 5 more minutes on our Daily Adventure Incense. Are we going to see any Galarian Birds? We have a Ferroseed. We have a Grovyle. Not a bad spawn. 966 on the CP. Staryu. That is going to have a shiny boost as of tomorrow. During the Water Festival event, Staryu will be one of the Pokemon that has a shiny boost. So make sure to keep an eye out for those tomorrow. Grovyle did not stay in the ball. Hatterena is just being a little bit difficult to catch. It's a little bit further back than what you think, Hatterena. And I do love this where Pokemon just move more and more often when he gets to the excellent circle. It's so annoying. When I say I love it, I hate it. But yeah, it's so annoying. It just seems to be a common thing now. Pokemon only ever seem to move when you're trying to do an excellent throw. Just so frustrating. Another Eevee off for Daily. Doesn't look like a good incense today, but we've still got 4 minutes remaining. Still around about 6 more spawns maybe from our Daily Adventure Incense. Hopefully one of those can be a Galarian Bird. It's been a while since we've had our shiny Galarian Bird. That was back in April Community Day, was it? Something like that. It was on one of the Community Days. I think it was April. In fact, we can check. So let's go have a look at Articuno. This is our shiny, and we had it back in Community Day, and it was on, yeah, April, 27th of April, Community Day, and very, very nice incense spawn. Took me around about 3 minutes to catch it. We did put it up on the channel as a little bit of a YouTube short. The whole encounter obviously sped up, so we got under the minute for YouTube short requirements. But yeah, you could just see how many Pokeballs we had to actually throw at it before it stayed in. Haunter off the Daily. Of course, can't be shiny, which is a little bit annoying. But still, a very cool spawn for anybody who loves Gengar or Ghastly or Haunter. Always happy to see any of that family spawning in the wild or on the incense. Still haven't managed to encounter a shiny Gengar on the wild. I've never managed to get one. I was hoping to get one in the event which finished yesterday, that Hisuian Celebrations event, because for anybody who played that event quite often, you may have seen that when the sky changed colour to that lovely purple colour, then we had a lot of the increased spawns of the likes of Scizor and of course Gengar appearing. So Megas did spawn more often during those hours where the sky changed. And unfortunately, still didn't manage to get a shiny Gengar. I was hoping we were going to get one. Still never managed to get one. And I know a few people online did get one. Of course, with it having a Mega evolution already released, it is a 1 in 128 shiny rate in the wild. But still, we weren't able to capitalise on that. And you'll see later on the video that we post up later, just how we did do with shinies during that event, with shinies, hundos, and of course XP. We'll talk all about that event as a whole on our YouTube video later. Bro, you should try Jurassic World Alive. It's like Pokemon Go, but with dinosaurs. Yeah, I think if I got if I got fixated into Jurassic World Live, I'd end up like having two phones that would go, one for Pokemon Go and one for Jurassic World Live. I'd become obsessed with both probably. So 55 seconds left on our Daily Adventure Incense. One more spawn potentially, or are we going to fit two in? There is a cutie fly. If we catch that quick enough, we may get another spawn. So there it is. It is stayed in the ball, so even though it's still there, we have already caught it. So there is a Rockruff raid. Now I don't know if that is the Rockruff. That's a rarer one, the midday form, maybe. Shelmet, that appears to be the last incense spawn. There it is, 4, 3, 2, 1. So the Daily Adventure Incense has finished. We have not caught anything good off it. 33 Pokemon, nothing of any decent. But we will head over to that Rockruff. We will do that Rockruff raid and see if it is the rarer of the Rockruffs, and of course whether we can get it shiny or not. 1 in 64 odds that, so we'll go and see if we can do that and see if we can get a shiny, and then after that we will finish the live stream. So just to round up how we've managed to get on tonight during the live stream, of course we started off by doing Dynamax Wailmer. It seems a while ago now, but around about an hour ago we started off doing Dynamax Wailmer, and if we show the evolution, you can see there that we did 5 into 1 into Wailord, our best one of the evening. But 779, we started off with a 10-10-10, the lowest you can get, so it could only really get any better, couldn't it? And we ended up getting slightly better, still a 2-star, 810 CP. Then we had an 812 CP, which evolved into this 1270 Wailord, a 13-12-15 there. 3-star this one, a 811. So again, around that 810, 812 CP, bang in the middle, 811, and it was a just about a 3-star, 12, 14, 11 on that one. And then again, a really, really rubbish one, 783. So I would assume the Hundo is going to be around about 820 something, perhaps 823, something around that number. Maybe you know it already. So hopefully you get better luck with Wailmer than what I have tonight. We've only managed to do 5. Of course, 400 max particles per battle means that it was a very costly one to do. And for not much gain, Wailmer and Wailord aren't going to be overly good in the game. They're not going to be overly useful. So it was good to get a few, and we will do a few more in the future. If we have still got particles at the end of the day and there's one nearby, then we'll do it. But other than that, I think it's pretty much going to be one that we barely battle in future. More so focusing on those more useful ones for the future Gigantamax and Dynamax battles. And of course, let's just have a quick look and see if we have managed to get any Hundos today. And unfortunately not, no. Our last Hundo still remains from the Eevee Classic community today, a couple of weekends ago now, 2 weekends ago, Eevee Classic community today, which had a double Classic community today, both on Saturday and Sunday. Of course, due to all of Eevee's evolutions, we had 2 days of it, 2 PM till 5 PM on both days, and we managed to get 2 Hundos, both on Sunday as well, so that was quite cool that we managed to get 2 Hundos. And that finished off our Hundo Eevee collection. We now have all forms of Eevee Hundo, all 8 different Eevee evolutions. We perhaps just need one more to keep as an Eevee. That would probably be finished off the set quite nicely. But for the time being, I'm quite happy with having all of them, especially those 3 Kanto ones. Them are really, really hard to get the Hundos of because they are completely random evolutions. If you've already done a nickname trick once, you can't do it again. So they are completely random. And I think I ended up with 6 Hundo Flareons and and 5 Hundo Jolteons before eventually getting a Hundo Vaporeon. It took 12 attempts to eventually get that Hundo Vaporeon, but eventually we did get it. So that was quite a nice one to get. And then, of course, like we mentioned, Eevee Classic Community today, we managed to finish off a set. Hey Nezuko, how are you? Thanks so much for joining. We are just doing this Rockruff raid, which is finished on 541 CP. And then we will be finishing the live stream. Let's see if we can finish on a high. 541 Rockruff. Is it blue? It's not blue. It is not shiny. Let's see if it's any good. And let's see which form of Rockruff it is. So it is a more common one, the one that evolves in 2 different ways, but it is a 98, so that's actually decent CP. Potentially 543 is a Hundo. Maybe somebody in the comments already knows that. But yeah, 541 Rockruff, 98 IV, probably one of the best Rockruffs we've had. So not a bad way to finish the live stream. But that is the live stream done. We have done Dynamax Wailmer. We have done our Daily Adventure Incense. But make sure to tune in tomorrow for Feebas Spotlight Hour. 1 in 64 shiny chance. So we hopefully are going to get a few shinies tomorrow. And as always, when we get shinies on the live stream, people can nickname them in the comments. So make sure to tune in for that. And we may nickname a Feebas shiny after your suggestion in the comments. So thanks very much for watching. Hopefully tune in tomorrow. And I'll see you very soon. Bye for now.